My hair makes me look like a crazy person right now. And allow me to explain, because I have been engaging in only the purest, most concentrated form of lunacy. Twitter. I've been connecting dots that weren't meant to be connected. I've stumbled upon a web woven in lies, manipulation, and demonology. This is the kind of rabbit hole that will have you condemned to Arkham Asylum, and I'm gonna share it with you now. And it all has to do with that big plane freakout video from about 2 days ago now. I'm sure a lot of you have seen it. There was a lady on a plane who got a little rambunctious, so she stormed off saying that the person she was sitting next to wasn't real and it scared her. Ordinarily, like 5 or 6 years ago, this would have been viewed as just like a goofy haha moment from silly lady. But now, in the current climate of our world, people accept even the most outrageous shit as legitimate. So they're using this as evidence that the government is putting fake people on our flights or that reptilians exist. And apparently now you're asinine if you write off a situation like this as just a drunk lady being rambunctious. I've also been keeping up with this. I'm sure all of you have seen this video already. I'll just in case you haven't here. This was the other day.
I'm telling you, I'm getting the fuck off, and there's a reason why I'm getting the fuck off, and everyone can either believe it or they cannot believe it. I don't give two fucks, but I am telling you right now, that motherfucker back there is not real. And you can sit on this plane and you can fucking die with them or not. I'm not going to.
So that blew up yesterday, and I have been glued to it ever since. So we live in a really awesome time period of our species where everything is deep. So this isn't just an isolated incident of a crazy lady having an unhinged episode. So I read like a 20k updated post on Twitter about how she's trying to let us know that there's a demonic presence on the plane by doing a 2 up, 2 down hand signal, which I'd never fucking heard of before. I had to look into this absolute lunacy. So I saw people debating on how she's trying to tip the public off that there was some kind of reptilian Satanist or something back there, which is what she's referring to as that motherfucker's not real. And they were being completely, like, genuine. They were being 100% genuine. I have been glued to it. People find symbolism in everything. Actually everything, and it's amazing. This has taken hold in a big way. Everything somehow ties into some kind of big Illuminati, deep state plan, reptilian, hollow earth theory. And I have just been absolutely enamored with it all day. I must have spent like close to an hour just doom scrolling all the people hyper-analyzing this frame of her freakout. It's a jutsu. Yeah, the psychosis jutsu. Or maybe she's trapped in a genjutsu, which is why she thought that guy wasn't real. So then where was it? Oh, it's a different video, I think. Is it gonna be here? Well, apparently Carrot Top was on the plane. Don't really care about that, though. Where's the, There's a video posted showing green hoodie guy. Apparently who she was referring to was a guy in a green hoodie. And there's a video that's showing him, and it's like, this is the proof, this guy is actually not real. And then they're coming up with theories on what it is. Because he's just sitting there, like doing nothing. He was literally just sitting still, and that's it. And then someone, take with a grain of salt, because it's TikTok. So the guy himself is probably less than human, just a fucking clout zombie. But a guy was claiming that he sat next to her, and that the guy in the green hoodie was ignoring her. And, like, it was really awkward and weird, and that he was starting to believe that the guy wasn't real too, or something. It's such a rabbit hole of nonsense I can't help but enjoy. Unsurprisingly, there's been a flood of people claiming not only to be on the plane, but also to be the green hoodie guy. There was a very popular TikTok video that's come out now from a guy claiming to be the green hoodie guy. And it's all baloney. As far as I've been able to find, the woman in the video hasn't come forward with any additional information, nor anyone actually associated with her or around her on the flight or anything like that. All these videos popping up of people pretending that they were a passenger on the plane and giving their insight into the situation, or the people claiming to be the subject that she's speaking on are all just lying for the sake of some internet updoots. Those are the fake people. Those are like actually fake people. They're not real motherfuckers at all. They are just clout-obsessed, attention-fucking desperate people that are just trying to capitalize off the viral sensation of this story. I'd love to hear more from her, though. I'm surprised that she hasn't given like an interview or something to explain her position, because she had the whole crowd the whole plane as a captivated audience here. The entire crowd turned around to look. Like, this is straight out of a movie.
It's not real. And you can.
Everyone fucking turns around to see who she's pointing at. This man's standing up here like, what, me? I'm catching a stray back here? It's just like a perfect disaster. Oh, everyone, yeah, I don't blame them. I'd turn around too. Everyone did. For good reason. You telling me someone's not real on this plane? I want to check it out. I'm expecting to turn around and see a fucking android or something. Some kind of mannequin. Or like that guy from Men in Black, the cockroach guy. Need sugar water. People in the comments were saying she was drunk and meant the flight attendant wasn't a real flight attendant, accusing him of stealing her AirPods. I saw that, but there's no evidence to back that up, and that doesn't make me laugh nearly as hard as all the people talking about how she's going on about like some kind of demon on the plane. I saw something really fucking cool from this morning on Twitter. There was this big document that was being shared around Twitter as proof that this lady was onto something. Like, she was, galaxy brain, seeing through the nefarious evil plot from the government, and they were sharing this top secret classified document that was going over an experiment they were conducting, where they were placing fake people on board these planes to fool the general populace just to see if they could, like, slip one in on us. So it was this document that was typed up, and it was, subject, imaginary man, location, flight, whatever, plane to Orlando. And then it went into detail on what was going to go on. And they're like, look, see, this is hard evidence right here that she was onto it. She was privy to the scam. It was the government, the puppet master the whole time. And then an hour later, the guy who initially posted that it began circulating from came forward and said that he felt really bad because he made it himself because he thought it was fun as a creative writing piece for, like, SCP, basically. He wrote just SCP fanfic around this, and a lot of people went wild, assuming that it was real, because they don't do any level of research on their own or have any level of rational thought. It's just this desperate desire to feel special and smarter than everyone else, so they'll just accept the most impossible reality imaginable and just live in fantasy world and run with that narrative. And we were actually blessed with a double whammy here. There was another incident that continued to fan the flames of fake people on airlines, because there was another freakout that happened within the same 24-hour period where a man got really upset at whoever he was sitting next to, so much so that he tried to, like, charge off the plane and, like, get out of there as soon as possible. Now, this one, from everything I've read, the guy was actually on drugs. Like, he came from, I think it was a music festival or something. And when you watch the video, it's pretty clear that he is not in his right mind. He's fucking tweaking hard. And yet people still, legitimately still, are claiming, like, look, it's happening all over the world. You can't explain this. Why are so many people getting so upset at random passengers on their flights? It must be fake motherfuckers or reptilians. Clearly, these are the only two options.
Look at everyone filming, man. What's wrong? Yo.
The passengers were actually very quick to stop this. He was charging the door to try and open it during takeoff, and they dogpiled on this man like they were trying to recover a fumble in the Super Bowl. So, fast action from the other passengers on board the flight. But yeah, people are once again claiming that this is further evidence that something real evil is happening aboard these flights with passengers that aren't actually humans. And like I've said, it's been extremely entertaining watching all of these outrageous theories unfold so far, so I'm excited to continue reading more evidence from them about all of this. That's really about it. So yeah. Not long ago, there was that viral freakout on the airplane with the lady claiming that a passenger on board was not real. It was a huge meltdown and it really caught the internet by storm. It was a wild situation that had everyone confused and giggling, but it also really tickled the curiosity bone of a lot of unhinged lunatics. I don't know how better to say that. I can't be more charitable than that. There were so many people that started to speculate that she was onto something. This was all a ploy from the deep state with their 15-minute city agenda where they're sneaking robot, android, soulless husks disguised as people on our airline flights. And only this woman was able to see behind the curtain for the truth of the matter, calling out a fake person. And it was just this crazy conspiracy web about how, like, she's actually correct, there are fake people on these planes and she's onto something. And then they even started making up their own fanfic about how she's missing. The government must have found her, tracked her down, taken her out behind the barn and put her down like a sick animal. Like, just executed her for revealing the truth and opening her third eye with the Sharingan. Just pure pandemonium. This opened Pandora's box of mental illness on Twitter in particular. But I'm happy to say we finally have closure. She was never missing. She's been totally fine, just a little embarrassed about the situation, and today released an apology video. That's right, an apology video. Not only that, but body cam footage of her escort out of the airport also dropped, so we really got the whole kit and caboodle on this case here. In the footage, she seems drunk, a bit belligerent, but that's not 100% confirmed. I wasn't there. I didn't run a fucking toxicology report or breathalyze her, have her walk a straight line or anything like that. But that's how it seems. Just using my astute little peepers here, that's the impression I get, is she may have been hitting the alcohol a little hard before going on the flight, which would help explain the outburst. So, I want to show you a little bit of both of these things, and also what sparked this whole incident was allegedly she had misplaced her AirPods, she lost them, and accused a fellow passenger of stealing them. So, she just started pointing the finger, like, this nefarious, no good pile of shit just stole my AirPods, so he's not real, that motherfucker's not real. That's what started all of this, I guess. Anyway, let's check out the body cam footage and then we'll see the apology video. Also, what an incredible year for apology videos. This is like the 1,000th one that's dropped this year. If apology videos were a renewable energy source, we would be able to power the entire fucking globe from just this year's load of apology videos alone.
I don't care if I'm ever fly with y'all ever again. I want to know what happens to this flight right here.
Hey, this is the after action post-game report. It's me from the future. I'll go ahead and tell you what happened to that flight. It had a completely safe, uneventful, scheduled flight and landed at its destination A-OK. Despite what a couple of weirdos on Twitter were trying to circulate, the plane was totally fine. Nothing happened on the flight, aside from her getting escorted off and causing a major delay and a headache for all the passengers on board. It was totally fine. Like, everything turned out okay. It's not like she was some kind of prophet who predicted that the plane would have a problem.
Let that flight leave. Do not let that flight leave. Being dead serious. Do not let that flight leave. That flight's not going to make it to Orlando.
Let's go.
It's not going to. Can I just leave? You don't need to escort me out.
Yeah.
Can I just
You had your own warning. So, keep walking.
Oh yeah, until y'all see that fight blow up.
Okay.
It's clear she's very distressed, and it's also very clear that this is not a moment she's proud of. She made that much clear in her apology video as well. This is one of those very unfortunate things that was captured on camera, and we don't know exactly the cause, whether it was alcohol related or something else, but it is I do feel bad for her. In the modern age, everything gets filmed, so you're always going to see someone's lowest moment if it happens in public. That's just the way the world works now. And I was thinking about this when watching her apology video. I have a phobia of flying. If I happened to be in the airport, or heaven forbid, on the aircraft when this happened, I probably would have had an even larger outburst and freak out that would have eclipsed hers. I would have stole the spotlight because I would have been fucking losing my mind. If this lady stood up and started saying the plane's going down, that motherfucker's not real, all rational thoughts going out my noodle. I'm waving my arms around, I'm fucking screaming. I'm gonna sound like Donnie out of the Wild Thornberrys. Like just begging to get off of the plane. But anyway, let me show you her apology video. But before getting into it, I want to mention something. A lot of people, I guess, either recognized her or found information about her. Well, I'm guessing found information about her because she mentions that it was pretty invasive how people, like, got a hold of her information. People figured out that she's a marketing executive. So there was another narrative that spun like a week or two ago about how this whole thing was actually just a publicity stunt. And I just want to knock on your empty little noggin here and try and figure out how you could ever run with such a delusional idea. This is a horrible publicity stunt. That wouldn't do any good for her or her company. She's not advertising anything. She's not putting a product out there in front of people's eyes. This is pretty clearly not an attention-seeking publicity stunt for her marketing company. Like, I don't know how anyone would even think for a second that that's a plausible explanation. Just sit down for a moment, really just marinate in your swamp ass and form an individual thought. Why would this be a publicity stunt? Like, damn near landing on the no-fly list? For what? There's nothing good that comes out of this for her. So I don't know how anyone thought that somehow we had all been had. They pulled the rug out from under us. They bamboozled us. This was all just a marketing agency's calculated play. Somehow. It's so dumb. So fucking dumb. I wanted to mention that real quick. Anyway, here's her apology video.
As you know, I have been unwilling to speak on the viral video, but I do finally feel that it's time. First and foremost, I want to take full accountability for my actions. They were completely unacceptable. And I want to apologize to everyone on that plane, especially those that had children aboard. Can't imagine going through that and trying to explain to your kid what in the world just happened.
Overall, I think this was a totally fine apology video. It seems like she's very regretful of the whole thing because obviously this was very public. And she just apologizes to everyone involved in the situation. She takes accountability. She seems sincere. I don't have any real criticism or critique of the apology itself. I don't know where I'd put it on the internet apology tier list, but I think overall she did a fine job of coming forward and just being like, yeah, you know, we all have some very bad moments. Unfortunately, mine was very public and captured on camera for the whole world to see in fucking 4K, right? Like, it's just unfortunate circumstances. She also does mention that she found a lot of the memes that spawned from this to be comical, but then also mentions that there was a disturbing invasion of her privacy as well. Understandable to be upset about something like that, too, for sure. So, it's nice that she did come forward to finally put an end to all of, like, the conspiracy theories surrounding this situation. She didn't really go into detail on exactly what happened, so even the whole AirPod theory is still, I guess, speculation since it didn't come from her in this apology video. But it is nice that she came forward to clear the air a little bit here and hopefully put the kibosh on all these weird conspiracy theories surrounding the situation. It's not like she had to come forward, like, obligated to make an internet statement. By no means did she need to do this, but it is appreciated that she did decide to, just to issue some kind of statement on the whole thing since so many people were captivated by it. So yeah, I just wanted to kind of go over the situation here because now there's some closure to all of it. That's really about it. So yep. I saw a very interesting video today that ties into a topic that I've discussed on streams passionately for years now. Tipping. I know, all at once, a bunch of people just went from the relaxed position to the locked-in stance in their chairs because tipping is a hot-button topic. So what happened is some guys went to a restaurant, got some food, paid for it, and left, but the restaurant owner noticed they didn't leave a tip. So he starts following them around on the street like the adoring fan from Oblivion. He is literally just on their tail like it's a fucking trailing mission out of a video game. And he's like insulting them, even like threatening them, all about not leaving that tip.
Hey bro, what do you want, bro? What do you want? I paid for my food. I paid for my food. What are you talking? Why you following me down the fucking street? Nigga, you need to get the fuck back. You need to get back. Why are you following me? Why are you following me?
What do you think?
Why are you following me? What are you gonna do? Call 911. Call 911. If you need to settle something, you know who to call?
The guy filming is right. He didn't break any laws. He paid for his meal, and it's not a legal obligation to tip. So the owner on his ass here like a hemorrhoid, like it's, you know, the horror movie It Follows about him not tipping, is wrong here. Because, again, he didn't do anything wrong. So the guy filming is like, well, call the police then if you think there's been some, you know, foul play, you know, some dirty barnacles from us. You can call the police about it. Obviously, the owner's not going to do that because there's not actually a case there.
Bro, I'm not trying to fuck with you.
You piece of shit.
Bro, I'm not trying to
goddamn
fuck with you.
fucking yelling at me.
I'm not trying to fuck with you, bro.
You shut your goddamn
I'm not trying to
fucking
fuck
mouth,
with you.
man.
Why are you following me down the street?
You piece of shit, little piece
Bro,
of shit, man.
I paid
I'll
for my food.
smack the shit out of
Bro,
you,
I paid for
punk
my
ass,
food.
man.
I paid for my food, bro.
Piece of shit.
I paid for my food.
How the fuck do you think
Bro,
they make money?
I paid
piece
for my
of shit,
food.
man?
I
How
paid
am I
for my
fucking
food.
staff supposed to make
Bro,
fucking
I
money,
paid
huh?
So raise your price,
Huh?
Now, I'm cutting around this a little bit because, as I said, this goes on for a long time. It feels like he follows them for miles. It felt like in Game of Thrones when they were marching for like a whole season. It felt like we got all of that throughout the course of this video. And it also was getting very heated. It started sounding like a Xbox Live lobby after a Call of Duty round ended. It was getting pretty big and a lot of yelling. But when the owner said that, how is my staff supposed to make money? Brother, it felt like I got teabagged. I was stunned. I was seeing stars. You are the owner. What do you mean, how is your staff supposed to make money? Pay them a livable wage. Like, it's not the most difficult to grasp concept. You don't need to be astronaut Katy Perry to understand this rocket science here. Tipping is a way for businesses to save money on their employee salaries by paying them sub-minimum wage. It's a way for business owners to financially treat the faces of their employees like a fucking fleshlight by paying them less than what they are supposed to, because tipping is supposed to make up for the difference, at least in the majority of states. There are some states that I'm aware of where restaurant workers can get tips, but they are still paid the normal minimum wage. But in most of the states in America, you get sub-minimum wage when you are working in a service industry position that has tipping as part of it. Tipping is just so ingrained in the culture of America right now, and it has just become pervasive in every industry. I'm sure a lot of you watching this have seen like self-checkout kiosks that now have tips that pop up occasionally. There is tipping in every single thing, and it's been a big talking point for a few years because now you are getting asked to tip on purely automated services. Like, who the fuck are you even tipping? Skynet? Like, it doesn't make sense. It is just outrageous. But when it comes to restaurants, the workers rely on tips because they're not getting paid a livable wage in the majority of states, and thus the onus is on the customer now to try and make up that difference so that restaurant worker can fucking survive. And it sucks. That shit is awful. Now in my case, I do maximum tip on everything in the service industry because I'm in a position to do so. And I know that they need that money, so I'd like to try and help out best I can. And Lord help us, I'm ashamed to admit it, I've even tipped at a self-serve froyo place once, where literally didn't interact with a single employee or anything, just made my own froyo, and I still tipped at the goddamn checkout. But point is, not everyone can do that, and not everyone should be required or expected to do that. It should always be the responsibility of the business to ensure the employees are making a livable wage, and tips should be something that is entirely optional as a way of rewarding exceptional service. And I know people have talked about that a lot, where they want to give extra to someone that really went above and beyond from them and they had a great experience with, so they want to tip that person to show their appreciation. That's great, but they should also just be making a livable wage, and that tip should go on top. I think that's how it should work in an ideal situation there.
Why are you following me down the street?
Chill the fuck out, bro. Why you
Bro,
following
chill
this
out.
guy, bro?
Fucking make
Chill
money,
out,
huh?
chill out.
Why'd you following this man?
Chill out, bro. You need to calm down, bro.
You
Why
fucking
you
raise your
following me down
goddamn
the
voice
street,
at me, huh?
Bro, you
Huh?
need to get back.
You
You trying to
wanna
back
fucking
me into a
apologize now?
corner. You trying to back me into a corner, bro.
What is wrong with you, bro?
What are you doing? What are you doing, bro? And now you mad because I won't tip you and you follow me down
How
the
am I
street?
supposed to fucking make money? Those
Okay,
guys,
so
huh?
raise your prices,
They
dude.
don't
That's
get
not
money
my
like
problem.
that, you fucking
I know
shit. They
you
just
mad.
don't
I know.
work like
So
that.
don't serve me.
Man, bro.
It's crazy to be doing this while wearing his restaurant on his chest. So what happened after this video blew up is a lot of people went to the restaurant and left a lot of really bad reviews on it, which I think they've been deleted now. I don't know if it's by him or if there's like a system in place for it. Couldn't tell you. But it was a really bad look for his restaurant here. He also just recently did an interview with CBS. I'll show you that in a moment. But I want to dive into the spaghetti and meatballs of something that the guy filming mentioned briefly. Raise your prices then. He's right. If the business owner can't afford to pay his employees a livable wage, he would naturally need to raise prices so he'd have more money to be able to pay his employees. But on the flip side of that coin, by raising his prices, he would have less customers because they would choose a place that is cheaper. Now, there's actually a little experiment conducted by someone named Michael Lynn, and it's been referenced by a lot of people when they talk about tipping culture, where he put two hypothetical restaurants against each other. Restaurant 1 had prices of like $15 for a cheeseburger, but a 15 to 20% gratuity to be expected at the end, versus Restaurant 2, where there is no tipping at all, but the cheeseburger is $17.25. Now, if you've got your thinking caps on, if you've passed, second grade arithmetic, you'll know these are the same price. But, overwhelmingly, the people in the study thought that Restaurant 1 was cheaper. Thus, people are going to gravitate towards that. Even though they're the same price after tip, people are going to choose the one that looks lower and cheaper to them. You have to remember, a lot of people are just fucking stupid. Does anyone recall when the third of a pound burger was introduced a long time ago? I've talked about this too. Back in the day, the quarter pounder crushing it. And A&W wanted to start trying to, encroach on that territory, so they introduced a third of a pound burger. But it flopped. It completely failed. This shit fumbled like Concorde. It was a culinary Concorde level disaster for them because people thought they were paying the same price for less burger. They didn't realize that a third of a pound is more than a quarter pound. So in the case of a restaurant that wants to pay their workers a livable wage and take tipping out of the equation and instead put that price into the menu itself, which is what a lot of people say they should do, well, their restaurant might not survive very long because people don't actually think very hard about things. So even in this hypothetical example, you're paying the same price, but the perception is it's cheaper to go with the place that just has tipping as an option. Now that brings us to the unicorn that people are looking so desperately to have, where all of the tipping is gone, eradicated, but all of the prices have stayed exactly the same. That's just not a realistic possibility for like 99% of these restaurants. Like, when they take away the tipping, they are then going to need to pay a lot more for those employees. Thus, they're going to need to somehow get more money. It's going to be by folding that difference into the menu items. Thus, it's going to look like you're paying more, even in cases where you might not be. So, it's very tough for a lot of these restaurants to just immediately jump on board with that, which is why we're in this fucking stalemate where tipping culture is just completely out of control, and why so many service industry workers are getting fucked because of just how rampant this issue is, and more people are choosing not to tip because they want to fight back against this. And in a lot of cases, they don't realize that they're not actually fighting back against tipping culture itself. They're just hurting the employees that are relying on it. And I think a lot of it doesn't, I don't think it comes down to malice. I don't think they're doing that to just be like, fuck you to the service industry workers. I really think that they believe by not tipping, the restaurant is going to change its policy. But it's probably not, unfortunately. Most of these fucking restaurants will sooner pay their workers in knuckle sandwiches than they will in raising their salary. And there's a lot more nuance to it. Like, I'm just giving you like bare bones, surface level shit here. Like, I haven't even begun to talk about the establishments that pay out a portion of their tips across all of the employees. Like, it gets so messy, and there are so many underhanded tactics to exploit these workers. It's a fucking issue. Anyway, though, back to the video that started this whole rant. I want to show you from the owner's perspective on the CBS interview.
Telling us he followed a regular into the street, intending to tell him never to come back after leaving without tipping again.
Have you watched the video?
Yes.
And when you watched it, what did you see there?
Ashamed. I was just ashamed, bring shame to my wife as a husband, as an owner, at the same time, to my mom and dad.
So according to the owner here, this was a customer that's a regular at the establishment, and he had finally had enough, so after he didn't tip again, he followed him outside, intending to just say, don't come back, kind of like shake his fist at him, and stay out, and that kind of thing. But it obviously spiraled more out of control than that and blew up in a much bigger way, which ignited a huge debate online about tipping. Because tipping is a very controversial topic. People feel very strongly, especially people that have been in the industry before. And while there definitely are cases where people don't tip just to be an asshole, I really do think there is a lot of confusion around how tipping even like works, that people think by not doing it, they're going to help be like a catalyst for change at that business, where they'll realize that the tips aren't coming in, so it's losing the business money, thus they're going to change their policy to actually pay their workers a livable wage, and then they won't be, you know, forced to rely on strangers to cover their expenses. But that's, again, just not going to happen in the majority of cases because it doesn't hurt the actual business owner. What's supposed to happen is if they don't reach minimum wage, like if they don't get enough tips to reach that, the business is supposed to cover it. That rarely happens. There are so many workarounds that these businesses pull, so many like backdoor hand job reacharoos that they are able to squeak out of not actually covering that. So it doesn't ever hurt the business itself. It only hurts the worker. And I really think there's a large number of people that don't understand that. But even understanding that, there are people that just can't afford to pay an extra 20% on top of what they've already just paid. And I see a lot of people regurgitating this take that's becoming very common. If you can't afford to tip, you can't afford to eat out. Okay, fair enough in something like Uber Eats or like fine dining or something. Okay, you can make that argument, I suppose. But it doesn't work for everything because there is no cheap ways of eating anymore, really. Even something like fast food is not that cheap. A McDonald's meal, it's not $1 anymore, sports fans. It's a handful of clams. And grocery shopping is pretty fucking pricey too. It's expensive. Like, it is hard to pay an extra 15 to 20% consistently on top of things that you're already paying for when you're eating. Like, I just don't fully agree with that take.
Bro, you about to blow up on social media, bro.
When asked why he didn't tip, the customer told people online, "Oh, I just didn't want to." Cho tells us the customer's brother has since come in, describing their conversation as productive.
I apologized to him and to his family, and I was asking if he can pass this message along to his little brother.
Adding he sent the brother home with the customer's favorite order, a handwritten apology and an offer.
My door's open for you, man. You know, come on by anytime.
Now, while I do think that response of, "Oh, I just didn't want to," is pretty douchey, again, he doesn't have to. And I really do think it shouldn't be expected that every single person does tip, because that's just the reality of it. It is 100% an issue that needs to be addressed on like the actual business front. And it's why there's so many people that study tipping itself and are trying to brainstorm how to improve it and get rid of it to certain extents. Because it is a terrible fucking system that nobody else in the world really uses, and in a lot of other cultures is actually viewed as insulting. So, like, it is something that does need changing. 100%. Now, in the case of this business owner here, he really seems remorseful. Like, he really does seem like he's trying to make amends. It does seem like maybe he was just having, like, a really fucking bad day, and not getting that tip meant that one of his workers wasn't going to receive, like, the full pay they should have, so he snapped and did this, and he seems embarrassed by it. So, I'm of the belief that he does regret it and that this is going to be an experience that he won't be repeating or anything like that. But that statement he made during the argument, "How is my staff supposed to make a living without tips?" Paraphrasing a bit, but that was the essence. It speaks volumes to just how poisonous tipping has become, where the business owner himself cannot even grapple with the idea of paying his employees a livable wage because it's such an accepted and expected business practice of paying them sub-minimum wage, literal tiddlywinks of dollars, because it's the customer's responsibility to take care of the rest. That's just crazy to me. It blows my mind. So yeah, I wanted to talk about this a little bit. That's it. So yeah. There's a viral video going around on the internet right now that really struck a chord within me, deep within my soul. A video that is about a short man getting very angry and he becomes a massive douchebag asshole. I'm sure most of you have seen this, but from the perspective of a short man, we're a rare breed, so I figured you'd want the unique perspective of a man who's below average male height. I'm 5'6", And one thing I'd like to say about this video before I play it for the few of you that haven't seen it, is this video is so embarrassing on this guy's part that it made me feel tall. Watching this video made me forget that I was short, and I was just laughing at this guy like, this fucking loser must suck being short. And it didn't occur to me until I went to take a shit and I looked at myself in the mirror that I was like, God damn, wait, I'm short too.
You're great women. Why is that okay?
You're great. Why is it okay for women to say, oh, you're 5 feet on dating sites? You should be dead? That's okay?
Who said that to you here? Nobody.
Women in general have said it on dating sites.
So you're looking at the protagonist for this new sitcom called 2.5 Hobbits. He's very upset that he's short, and allegedly, according to the girl who posted this video, this took place at a bagel shop, and he was just being misogynistic asshole to all the women, and that's when they started filming it, and he immediately starts talking about dating sites where girls make fun of him, which leads me to believe that he had just got rejected on Tinder, and Bumble, and Match, and Christian Mingle, and his favorite Twitch streamer rejected his application to be a mod, so I'm guessing just all around was a bad day, and he took it all out on women at this shop.
You think I'm making that shit up? Everywhere I go, I get the same fucking smirk with the biting lip. Shut your mouth. You're not God or my father or my boss. Dude, you want to step outside? You want to step outside? Huh? I'm not standing, pal.
This is the highest level short man rage I've ever seen documented. This is the kind of shit you only read about on Reddit. I actually couldn't even believe that this was filmed. It's like filming Sasquatch. This is such a high level of short man rage. It's like DEFCON 3 of short man rage. It's unreal. Just looking for a fight, constantly on edge, looking to be disruptive. I wouldn't be surprised if before he even got into the bagel shop, he started sizing up a 7th grader, thinking to himself, yeah, I can take him. He may be a little taller than me, but I can definitely beat his ass. That'll impress the girls around here. But by far my favorite thing about the entire clip is the little chest bump on the guy ready to rumble. He chest bumps the dude's nutsack. This guy is so short, and the guy he's trying to tussle with is so much taller than him that when he does the little chest bump to be intimidating, his tits are rubbing the man's penis. His nipples are handshaking his scrotum.
You shut up too. Just like, no, go ahead and attack me, Jake.
Oh my god. Oh my god. I just wanted bagels. I recorded the whole thing.
The classic, what are you gonna do, stab me? Says the man who got stabbed. Hey, go ahead and attack me, as he gets fucking tackled by a dude 5 times his size, a fucking college linebacker out of nowhere. I imagine he immediately regretted that decision to try and act that tough around that guy. And the video goes on, but this is the one that's viral, but there is a follow-up to it that shows what happens after he got taken down.
Oh, and a guy 3 times my size. That's okay?
Get your food in.
What happened? What I'm sorry?
Get your food in.
You know what? Fuck your fucking breath.
There's no need to play.
You think that's funny, right? That's funny? Why is that so funny? Now I'm going to take my breakfast. You think that's funny? All you women.
What a fucking roller coaster he took us on there. First he says, fuck that bread, wants nothing to do with it, he's above that bread, an alpha male doesn't need that bread. But then Alvin and the Chipmunks start laughing at him, fucking Looney Tunes style laugh comes in, and he changes his mind immediately. You know what? Fuck you, give me that bread, bang. Snatches it up. I wish he had scarfed it down for a power move, or since he wants to really puff his chest out and be an alpha, I'm surprised he didn't drop trow and start peeing on the bread just to show his dominance over the bread. But he kind of pussies out, picks up his bread, and then goes back to just being a really huge asshole and insulting people.
All you women should shut up like shit! All of you! All of you! Yeah! All of you!
You want to go.
No! You women need to stop being so fucked up!
He then went home to make a blog post about why nice guys like him don't get the good-looking girls in society, and it's a shame. He is a nice guy, as you can clearly tell, well-adjusted. He seems to have a good head on his very small shoulders, but I think it's really sad the lack of self-control and most likely self-awareness. I guarantee he went home thinking he did nothing wrong, and that society was just beating down the short guy again. Now, he says he's 5 feet in the video. I don't know if that was an exaggeration or if he's under 5 feet or above 5 feet and he was just exaggerating on either spectrum. Doesn't really matter. You know, there's nothing you can really do about your height. You can either be an insecure little bitch like this guy and take it out on the world, you know, shaking your fist at the clouds because you're upset that you're so goddamn short and it's unfair, or you can just Live with it. Fucking deal with it. And don't be such a little pussy. Have fun with it. Make jokes about it. But why act out like this at a fucking bagel shop? No one wants to be around a guy like this. But I mean, yeah, I don't really have a very super unique perspective on it. To be honest, I just kind of wanted to make jokes about this. But it really is sad that my fellow short brethren act out like this. And that's why a lot of people expect short man rage occasionally, you know? There's no reason to be this insecure about something that you just don't have control over. And that's about it. So yeah. I've used Uber and Lyft hundreds of times each, Uber more than Lyft, and I've never had a notably awful experience before. You know, I've never gotten into a car and felt unsafe. You know, I look at my driver and he's wearing like a trench coat and sharpening a hacksaw and then winks at me. I've never had like a really bad time with ride sharing. The only time it got wacky and weird was one time I took an Uber leaving the bar, and on the way home, I was convinced I was in the car with a prophet, like an angel. We were driving on the interstate, just two boys being dudes, and out of nowhere, the Uber driver pulls a prophecy out of his asshole. He said, "This guy's about to hit the median." And at first, I didn't know what he was talking about, and I thought it was like a riddle that I had to solve or something to get money off of the Uber rides. I was like, oh, the answer is time, you know? But then I realized he was talking about the car in front of us, obviously. And it felt really weird to me because the car wasn't doing anything weird. We were behind them for a little while, like maybe a mile or two, and they weren't driving erratically or recklessly. They didn't look like a drunk driver or anything. And then out of nowhere, a couple of seconds after he said that, he like willed it into existence. The car swerved and scraped against the median and then tried to get back into the lane. Out of fucking nowhere. I was like, oh my god, we are living in a simulation. But yeah, that was my weirdest experience with Uber and ride sharing in general. But of course I've seen the horror stories, like the absolutely awful ones, and this is one of those. This is a pretty special one.
You know, I'm just trying to ask you to go to speed limit is all.
I'm saying I'm gonna go.
Oh. Okay. Okay.
Don't really know what's going on in her car here. She's created a little crime scene there. Like, stepping into this vehicle looks like you'd be stepping into your neighbor's shitty haunted house on Halloween. It's just really goofy looking. I don't get it. I guess it's supposed to be early Halloween decorations. She's got like a blow-up sex doll in the passenger seat. Or maybe it's there to like prevent her passengers from getting up front. Like, hey, you can't sit there. Clearly, this inflatable Mr. Krabs doll's taking that seat. So just get in the back, alright? You know, I don't even know what the fuck it is. I mean, maybe it's an inflatable clown or something. I couldn't tell you, but it's pretty weird stuff. Now what happened is the passenger asked if they could roll down the window and drive the speed limit, which I think is a pretty reasonable request because this lady's out here driving like it's Grand Theft Auto 5. I was half expecting her to try and ramp this vehicle off of a parked tow truck. She's treating it like it's Fast and Furious universe and she's trying to catch Dominic Toretto. So it's not like the passenger's being an asshole or anything, just asking, hey, can you drive the speed limit so you don't kill both of us here? And that just sets her off. She loses her goddamn mind there. Slow down! Fucking yanks on the e-brake and does a 360. Suck on this, pussy fart! You can hear, like, this tire start screeching. She completely takes her eyes off the road, turns around and starts swiping at the camera like she's a kaiju, like Godzilla trying to knock over a building. And then meanwhile, the passenger's laughing the entire time. The absolute fucking dick on this man. The fucking balls of pure adamantium to laugh through an experience like this is inspiring. They could have very easily died here. The driver went feral and totally forgot they were operating a vehicle. This could have ended up like the Billy Madison scene where O'Doyle Rules just fucking shoots their car off a cliff like a missile. And meanwhile, the whole time, the guy's just giggling about it.
Alright. Well, you got to... Hey, you're gonna have to open that trunk. I'm not going anywhere until you open that trunk.
Unironically, she starts squealing. Literally squealing. This is what a small dog sounds like when it's trying to intimidate a larger dog, but it's also very afraid as well. It actually sounds like somebody stepped on a toad. It is shocking that a human being can make this noise with their vocal cords. This is what it sounds like to smoke 15 packs a day.
Alright. Well, you got to... Hey, you're gonna have to open that trunk.
Sorry to hit you with the surprise instant replay on the Jumbotron. It's just I'm so impressed with her ability to hit this screeching note. This is the brown note. Like, hearing that makes a human being involuntarily shit themselves. This is such an abhorrent sound. It's like someone's recorder broke, but they still desperately tried to play hot cross buns on it.
Nope. You're gonna have to get my bag out of your car. I just want my bag, man. That's all I want was my bag. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
Yeah, I'm no Phoenix Wright ace attorney, but I'm pretty sure this is a highly illegal act here. You can't just pull over on a busy interstate and kick out the passenger, because they could easily just get hit by a car and die, and you're fully responsible for it. What a remarkably reckless decision from this asshole here. But credit where credit is due, she did slam him with a real humdinger, saying, "Fuck you and fuck your mom too." So she tossed in a "your mom" there, so she really got him. I was really hoping she'd double down and go for a D's nuts as well. Just be like, "Hey, yeah, you can you get off at the D's exit and find another lift. D's nutties." Then she fucking peels out, drifts in there. But she handled herself like a professional, only sticking with a "your mother" statement as she launched his suitcase across the road.
Me too.
So she's running around barefoot like a hobbit, threatening an Uno reverse card, saying, "Well, I'm also filming everything, so that way we have two angles of how stupid I am and how reckless of a driver I am." I don't think there's any world or any multiverse out there where there's a single reality where what she was doing was justifiable. She was driving extremely fast and reckless. She turned around to swipe at the guy's phone while driving extremely fast, tires screeching, and then pulling off to the side of the road to kick him out. Pretty hard to defend stuff, I'd say. As she blasts off back onto the road, she nearly clipped the van that was next to her because she tried to get back too early, and that would have been an absolute catastrophe. Her road rage almost got even more people hurt. Then she left this guy stranded. I'm assuming he was able to find his way back to civilization after being dropped off in the middle of fucking nowhere on the interstate. And yeah, I don't really think this is the best Lyft experience. I would imagine this is at the absolute least 2 stars, I would say. It has to be. Because this was not great. This was not, spectacular service, I would argue. But at least he survived the trip. I was getting worried when she was driving the car and slamming backwards, screeching tires and shit. I thought that was just going to be the end of him. I thought we were looking at like some Blair Witch Project found footage kind of shit, but luckily everyone was okay. That's about it. See ya. What makes you mad more than anything in the world? What gets under your skin and just ticks you off? I know that this is an iconic question once posed by the great Ned Schneebly in School of Rock, but it applies to what I want to talk about today, because for one unhinged psychopath, the answer to this question was so baffling he ends up throwing his life away for something extremely insignificant. We've all got mad at small things, right? Trivial shit that doesn't matter, whether it's, getting killed in a video game that you think is the result of lag, or maybe someone gives you some goofy eyeballs and you don't like the way they look at you and it makes you feel a little uneasy and it makes you upset perhaps. We've all got mad at something mundane. But one man in Oregon just got so upset that a parade forced him to go on a bit of a detour that he decided to fucking bulldoze through the blockade and then drive through the parade, nearly hitting people, including children, and will now likely spend the rest of his life behind bars, rightfully so. This is an individual with a severe case of stick-it-to-the-man-neosis. He fucking lost his mind and filmed himself doing it the entire time, by the way, all because of a slight detour for a parade. Now, there was one intellectual in chat last night that for some reason his comment was so stupid that it's sticking with me and just marinating in my brain about this story. He said, "Why is he getting punished? No one got hurt." Brother, let me sit you down in the stupid chair real quick. You can't bulldoze through a blockade, and keep in mind, I haven't shown you the video yet, but I will in a second. There is a scene, like straight out of an old 90s action film, where he ramps his car up on 2 fucking wheels in order to squeeze through the blockade more efficiently and blast through the parade. You can't do that because you're endangering all the lives around you. I can't believe that even needs explaining in any capacity at all. It blows my mind that I even need to tell you why that's bad. Especially when we've already seen a couple times in the past someone using their vehicle as a weapon during parades where they hit and kill people. Even if his goal wasn't the attempted murder of people at the parade, he almost hit people, and this easily could have ended up in a situation where he did hit, harm, or even kill people from this reckless action. So just because he narrowly avoided a fatal catastrophe doesn't mean that he shouldn't be punished. He is not fit to be in society. And not only that, I'm gonna go ahead and give away a big spoiler, he's also a fucking pedophile. He has a rap sheet that extends for like most of his life, and a lot of the crimes involve sex crimes with minors, apparently. I'll just go ahead and play you the news segment here that we went over on stream. You see the video of the guy driving through the Portland parade? Oh, that was so fucking weird, yeah. He didn't hit anyone, but it was so weird. I didn't see the whole video, but I saw like the first bit.
Dashcam footage obtained by NBC affiliate KGW submitted by prosecutors.
Brave showing it? No, he doesn't hit anyone. I don't exactly, they said road rage, but I don't exactly know what it was in particular, but for some reason he just drives to the parade and then just drives fucking through it. It's crazy. It was unhinged.
Frustrated, stuck in traffic due to road closures clearing the way for Portland's Grand Floral Parade. His anger boiling over.
They got it all blocked off. The Lloyd Center exit, the Convention Center exit.
Wait, so this was all over the road being blocked off for a parade? Holy shit. I don't think I've ever been that mad over anything in my life. Jesus, he's got that bitch up on 2 wheels. God damn. Like I said, he doesn't hit anyone, but look at this shit. That's terrifying. This is his camera POV. Well, yeah, obviously it's his camera POV. They didn't put like a drone on his hood or anything. For some reason, he records his own cabin, even though I can't imagine this is an isolated incident with this kind of blow up. Yeah, this is the guy. He caught himself in 4K.
Charged with 38 counts, including attempted assault and reckless endangerment. He has pleaded not guilty. Residents in
not guilty, huh? Are we sure? I've been framed.
Court documents show Metcham is from Portland and has been in and out of prison and juvenile detention since he was 15 on sex abuse convictions against minors.
Whoa.
No trial date.
So he's a pedophile too. Good lord. What the fuck?
For these latest charges. Valerie.
All right, Aaron, thank
you.
Then.
Thanks for watching.
What a situation. All that because they blocked off the road for a fucking parade. They should just... Well, I mean, I don't think he's leaving jail again. 38 counts? I mean, shocker. You can't do this. You can't just drive through a parade like that. So I don't think he's going to be leaving jail anytime soon. He was probably late to the Chris Hansen meetup. I really wonder what he was in such a rush for. I am curious. Man heard the elementary school was about to get out and he wanted to go get good seats. I have no idea what he'd be so angry about for having like a slight detour. You would think someone would be careful driving when they have a suspended license. Well, not only that, you'd think he'd be even more cautious having a suspended license and also being a fucking pedophile. Like, the last thing you'd want is for people to know about you. This man just put himself out there in the biggest way possible. The Macy's going back to jail parade. Good one. Suspended license, no insurance, and he's self-recording. The self-recording might actually just be a court order, though, to make sure there's no children in his car. Like, I can't imagine this guy would be self-recording on his own volition. This had to be, like, the government stepping in saying, listen, you can have access to a motor vehicle, but we have to know who's inside your cabin at all times. The gall to plead not guilty, though, when he records himself doing it is incredible. I understand that that's probably just, like, the standard legal strategy, but man, that is very silly. Keep in mind, this is all alleged, of course, yes. He allegedly drove through the parade while recording himself screaming and running through this entire celebration and then parking his car. It could have been anyone. We don't know yet. It was all AI. That's going to be a real legal defense strategy pretty soon. Your Honor, that's not my client. It's a deep fake. My client can't even make this face. I want to show you a bit from his dash cam perspective here because it's diabolical. He goes over the traffic cones and now he starts speeding up. He's treating this like it's a game of Grand Theft Auto 5, so he pops it up here. He's got his action movie stunt going on. He goes through the bigger blockades and the bigger trucks, and then he gets around to the actual parade. And this is where things get really scary. This is that kind of shit that has you hold your breath when you see the footage, because he is going fast. This man is fucking zooming. He is cruising here, nearly loses control because he, like, hops over the grass there, it seems. And then it almost feels like right here he starts contemplating whether or not to hit people. He then continues to drive through the parade for a lot longer, and there's also, like, a police officer that tries to get him to stop. He refuses to, and eventually drives out of the parade and away. All of this over having to just be slightly inconvenienced because of a detour due to a parade. It's fucking crazy. There are absolute lunatics out there. It's frightening. Just wanted to talk about it a little bit. That's it. Yep. Alright, fine, you caught me red-handed. There's no use in trying to hide it and keep it a secret. Nothing gets by you guys. Yes, I did just get back from playing Thursday night pickup basketball with the boys. And yes, I did perform like Allen Iverson in his prime, but we don't need to just hyperfixate on that. I mean, you guys are just really just focused on it way too heavily. Or maybe you're just so distracted by this beautiful retro moist jersey that I'm wearing. There's a little sneak peek, a little teaser for an upcoming basketball wear line we're doing. But please, you're a real chatty Cathy. Can you stop talking about basketball for 2 seconds? Yes, I play like Luka if he got hit with a shrinking beam, right? I get it, you know, little Luka out there. But just because I'm incredible at basketball doesn't mean that that's what I want to talk about today. What I want to talk about is a very interesting gym dispute that I've never quite seen before. I've seen a lot of gym freakouts and really goofy things that happen there, especially in the modern age where every single person's workout appears to be filmed now for TikTok. So when you go into a gym, I imagine it's like going onto a movie set right now, but they're doing like 15 different indie films at every single corner of the gym. I haven't been to a public gym in a while. We built one at the warehouse a couple years ago, and that was such a fucking blessing. That was crucial, because I couldn't stand to be in a gym that is just nothing but cameras recording every single nook and cranny of the establishment. It'd be miserable. And today, there was someone recording their back workout, and it led to an argument because he was doing it shirtless. Now listen here, sports fans, I'm gonna give you the brass tacks. You don't get pythons like these puppies unless you're praying at the Iron Temple actively. And for me, I've spent about 10 years in gyms. And also, I'm gonna go ahead and just get ahead of this here before some of you in the comments attack me like mosquitoes swarming a Hershey's bar that was left out in the rain. I know a lot of people say that my physique isn't representative of what 10 years in the gym should look like. To that I say, bah humbug. I've gone through the jacked, yoked stage, and at 5'6", I just didn't like how I looked. I looked like a goofy little meatball. So now I just keep myself looking this way on purpose, going for more of a shredded, lean, muscular physique. Don't know why I felt the need to explain that, but figured might as well. Point is, in all of my years in the gym, it has always been proper etiquette to wear a shirt during your workout, except for a couple of exceptions where it is acceptable to not do that. There's a few locations in my local area where there's plenty of people working out shirtless, and there's no problem with that. But when you're going to just like a normal public gym where it's just, you know, a wide range of clientele that isn't necessarily like power lifters or anything like that, just casual lifting, it's usually encouraged that you keep your shirt on. So I'm imagining that's what this place was, a place where you're supposed to keep your shirt on. So I can understand maybe one person being like, that's kind of douchey. But this guy gets so fucking upset at seeing a shirtless man that he starts recording it, and then it devolves into a heated argument that I half expected to go Looney Tunes and have like grand pianos falling on each other's heads.
Alan,
He is more mad about seeing this guy shirtless than he would be if he found out his girlfriend was cheating on him. He is fuming. Like, the response to just less than proper gym etiquette is overblown here from this individual. Okay, so the protagonist here isn't supposed to be shirtless. Got it. If you have a huge problem with it, why not just go say something like, hey, would you mind putting your shirt back on? You're scaring me. I don't like to see a man chest. Just put a shirt on, please. Like, just go talk it out. Instead, he, like, just goes right up in front of him and starts filming, which is I am so tired of that being the trend when anything is going on that's a little out of the ordinary. Everyone's first instinct now is just to start recording that shit. I mean, I guess I sometimes do like that because it leads to really silly videos, but man, it is just out of control. It has completely replaced normal human instincts and common sense on how you'd respond to something you don't like, where you'd usually just ignore it or maybe just roll your eyes and walk away. Now you put yourself in the position you don't like for as long as possible so you can keep recording and continuously just escalate your own inner anger. It's a baffling concept to me. But that's exactly what happens here. He just stands there, he records. Eventually, the guy who's being recorded is now like, hey, why are you doing that? And then he's like, it's weird because you're not wearing a shirt. And then he just starts dropping slurs. Like, he is so upset, he is throwing around slurs at this stranger here.
So I don't even know this dude, and I am confused as hell of what's going on, because I don't understand why he's cursing me out and stuff. So, but he continues to stare at me and flip me off and mouth things to me. So I just had to say something.
Man, this NPC here just hit a water bottle slam in response to this, and then started rolling up on the guy like it was something out of a horror video game. He's just marching his way up there to give him a piece of his mind. Which, again, probably should have been the first thing he did instead of start escalating this shit by recording it and then calling him slurs. You could have just walked up and said, hey, do you mind putting your shirt back on? You know, finish your set, put your shirt back on, it's not that big of a deal. But instead, he's gone through all this hoopla and made the situation far bigger than it ever should have been. I don't know why he's this upset about a guy not wearing a shirt. It is a crazy response to that.
I know you're talking, buddy. What are you talking across the fucking gym. What do you think? What you talking about? I don't know. What are you talking about? Fuck you. Yeah, I'll fuck you up, pussy. Yeah. Fuck you.
What an interesting exchange there. That was some shit straight out of Skyrim. He just comes up with the wackiest dialogue tree after slamming his water bottle. Fuck! Ah, shirtless man, damn you! And then marches over, and then he's just like, what are you talking about? He's trying his best to make it seem like he's not the weird one here, saying that the other guy was talking to him from across the gym, but meanwhile, he was the one that was recording him, and then calling him slurs. It doesn't add up. And he's doing it all with this really confused smile on his face. Like, it's just such a odd set of circumstances. A lot of the comments on this video compared the looks of this man to Eli Manning, and I can't unsee it. This actually does look like Eli Manning in an alternate universe. Anyway, dude comes up and makes threats saying that he'll fuck him up over not wearing a shirt is a crazy thing to try and fight about. But he's doing all of this with like a really big smile on his face, like he is grinning ear to ear. I can't tell if he wanted to fight or fuck this guy. I'm really not sure what his plan was or what he was wanting to happen. If I was to be an armchair psychologist, to me this seems like the sight of the shirtless man made him have thoughts that he wasn't happy about, so then he had this crazy big response because he felt bad about maybe being attracted to it. I really don't know. I can't think of a rational, reasonable explanation for why somebody would get this mad at something so small. Yes, if this is a gym that doesn't allow shirts to be off, it is improper etiquette to have your shirt off, but it's super easily solvable without this kind of hostility by just asking them to put their shirt back on, or even telling just gym staff, be like, hey, that guy's got his shirt off, you might want to talk to him about it, if you don't want to be the one to do it. Like, it's just so easy without it being a big song and dance. I just had to share this because this really was a head scratcher of a video for me, getting this mad about something so insignificant. That's really about it. So yeah. Yesterday there was a war fought on American soil that I'm sure many of you have seen by now. A one-man army barged into a local smoothie place, assaulted the young workers, got racist, got arrested, and subsequently fired from his very well-paying job. He was one of the top 25 highest-grossing wealth advisors in Connecticut, and he threw all of it away over what was ultimately his fault when it came to a smoothie dispute. This battle was up there with the Battle of Troy, but instead of being fought over a woman, it was fought over a smoothie. To briefly break down the situation before sharing the video, or at least some of the video, I can't share all of it because he gets racist and I'm not going to show that. So just to briefly sum up the lore here, there was a father who had ordered a smoothie from this smoothie place earlier in the day. He mentioned he didn't want any peanut butter in it, so when he got the smoothie, he brought it to his son who has a peanut allergy, and his son had an allergic reaction to the smoothie and ended up in the hospital. Sometime after this, the father then went like full-blown fucking vigilante mode, goddamn trying to emulate John Wick, went back to the smoothie place to demand to speak face-to-face with the person who made the smoothie, but the 4 girls that were working there at the time were not the 4 employees that made that smoothie, so they didn't know who it was. So then the father got very upset, yelling and screaming, treating it like a 2009 Call of Duty Xbox Live lobby, just absolutely shouting, being racist, and tried to kick down the employees' only door, I imagine, to try and like beat them up or some shit. Then police got involved, he got arrested, lost his job. The whole thing honestly played out like a fucking Dhar Mann video over the last 12 hours. Father gets angry, gets racist, gets fired, lives to regret it. Now, I want to make it clear, I think the father is totally in the right to be mad about the situation, but nothing justifies racism and like trying to assault people that didn't even have anything to do with the situation in the first place or any of that shit. The most important part of this story is the father never specified he didn't want the peanut butter due to allergies. He never specified that it was due to, allergies to peanuts that he wanted the peanut butter excluded. So the workers may have made a mistake of blending it in a blender that had already had a peanut butter smoothie in it at some point. But nothing excuses how the father handled this situation at all. It's terrible what happened to his son, and what the father should have done is handle this legally, professionally. The dude's a fucking wealth advisor, at a very reputable place. He shouldn't be some kind of troglodyte homunculus who thinks the only solution here is to goofily march into the smoothie place, fee-fi-fo-fumming, ready to fight some high school girls. It's absolutely outrageous the way he handled it, and there's no excuse for it. Now, from what I understand, most restaurants do have a policy when someone asks for anything regarding nuts, like leave off, the peanut butter or whatever, the assumption is supposed to be made that it is due to allergies, which is why they have like a special blender at smoothie places from what I was reading. So yes, the smoothie place is at fault, which is why the father should have handled this legally, not as some kind of agent of chaos or whatever. Let me go ahead and show you the video now.
Please don't yell at us.
Yeah. Don't videotape me.
You have no room to yell at us.
I want to speak to the fucking person who made this drink. Is that you?
No,
we don't know who made it,
You
so.
don't know who made it?
There's 4 of us here, so we honestly don't know.
Fucking stupid, fucking ignorant high school kids.
Okay, bye.
I want to speak to the fucking
Bye.
manager.
Okay, you can call corporate whenever you want. Goodbye.
John, stop. You're on camera.
Fuck
You're
out
on
of
camera.
here,
You're on
you
camera.
fucking bitch.
No, I don't care.
Give it to me right now.
What?
I'm calling the police. I'm calling the police.
Fuck you. I want the fucking telephone number right now.
Gianna,
I want the telephone number. Shut the fuck
You
up.
shut up. Get out. You can call corporate whenever you want. Bye.
You're a fucking idiot.
Okay, good for you. Fuck out. You're going to jail. You're going to jail, you racist piece of shit.
I want the fucking telephone.
Bro, call the police now.
Like I said, I'm not going to keep any of the racist shit he said in here because obviously I don't want to keep that in here. So this is the worst way of handling any situation ever. I talked about it on stream last night, so I'll play some of those clips. But there's nothing that excuses this behavior. I've seen quite a few people almost defend him, saying like how emotional he must have been with his son. And yeah, that's a horrible thing that happened to his kid off of a mistake from the facility here. But this is not the way you go about it. And nothing justifies racism and like attacking people, especially people that had nothing to do with what happened in the first place. And if he was really that emotional about his son, why wasn't he with his son at the hospital at this point? I'm assuming when this was happening, his son was still at the hospital. This probably wasn't like 18 hours later, or, you know, the next day or anything. So he sent his son to the hospital and then immediately came over here like it was some kind of revenge movie or something. It's disgusting. I don't think they like maliciously put peanut butter in his smoothie after he asked not to. It was probably just using a cross-contaminated blender that had peanut butter in it. Just sue. Exactly. He could have handled this legally or anything other than whatever the fuck he thought he was doing here, like Liam Neeson. Fair, but if I was a dad, I'd get just as angry, just without the racism. He absolutely had a right to be angry. I don't think anyone disputes that. But he doesn't have a right to be racist, or go to the place and threaten high school girls. And throw a smoothie at them, call them all kinds of horrible names, and then try and literally break down the door to, I assume, beat them up. Most places, when they hear no peanuts / nuts of any kind, they're supposed to assume allergies due to how common it is. That would make sense. He was the wealth management advisor, and managing director for Merrill Lynch. Yeah, that's what it was. He only worked with clients with $1 million or more. I remember that. I guess you can't control emotions when your son is in the hospital. What? What? I mean, no matter how mad you get, there's never an excuse for racism. Like, what do you mean? It's not like, my son, time to go be racist. Dude looks way older than 48. He doesn't look that much older than 48. Like, it's not like a good 48 he's rocking, but it's also not, like, terrible. You clearly haven't met a 48-year-old in Florida. Yeah, so as I mentioned, this father only worked with clients who had $1 million or more worth of, like, assets in their account or some shit like that. So this guy he was big money. He wasn't making peanuts. This guy was making, like, fucking fat, big old stacks. And he lost that job, like, hours after this video surfaced. Overall, this whole situation was awful. Feel really bad for the kid. Both parties were at fault, but the father was significantly more in the wrong for how he handled this. There is just no excuse for this behavior whatsoever. So, yeah, that's about it. So, yeah. Hey, what's going on? It's me again, the mad scientist of menopause. Today we're looking at another really angry woman out in public, but this time, she's equipped for war.
Fucking say it to your face, you fucking ugly packy fuck, get out of my town.
What are you? What
I
are
am
you?
your wife, you motherfucker.
If you blink, you might miss her. She's like a lightning bolt going across the screen. She's riding around on her mobility scooter, fucking drifting around the turns like Dominic Toretto and spewing some racist shit.
You get the fuck out of my town.
You fucking racist bitch.
Yes, I am. I'm
Who the fuck
racist.
you talking to? You fucking racist bitch. Fuck you. Fucking racist.
So she hits him with some drive-by racism and then takes off into the sunset on her trusty steed. It looks like some shit out of Twisted Metal, like a DLC character.
Nothing to me. You're fucking stinky fuck.
Look who's talking. Look at your feet, you crusty woman.
Look at my feet. Yeah, you know what? I'm a witch. We're supposed to be grounded, you dumb fuck. You know nothing about witches. You want to fuck with me? You'll see what happens.
She looks like a goofy skin for Urgot from League of Legends. There's a lot to unpack here. So after spectators pointed out that she's barefoot, which makes her gross, she claimed that it's because she's a witch. Now, I'm no expert on the occult or witchcraft, but I have to imagine there's no reason for witches to be barefoot. You know, at least if TikTok's taught me anything, you can be a witch if you just have 3 eggs that you slam together and you can claim that you're a witch or a warlock or something. Really, I just feel like that's a big lie. Like, how do I know she's not a hobbit, which is why she's barefoot? And her explanation of needing to be grounded doesn't make any sense unless she's an electrical outlet in somebody's home. You know, you don't need to be barefoot to be grounded. And she's not even on the ground. She's on a scooter. Not even a broom. So there's just plenty of ways to poke holes in this condom of witchcraft that she's trying to claim. It's ridiculous.
Because of the fucking curry all over my parts, the spices. Disgusting! In the fucking language. Disgusting! Yep, that's fucking right. I'm the Canadian here. I'll fucking speak my languages, but fuck you and yours.
Ruth is out here riding dirty. I love the little skull sticker on the back of her mobility scooter. She treats it like it's a Harley-Davidson motorcycle and she's part of the Hells Angels. I've tried so fucking hard to read that sticker, going like full CSI on it, trying to enhance beyond human capabilities, and I just can't figure out what it says. I think it says sock goop, but that doesn't make any sense unless that's the name of her scooter gang she belongs to at the retirement home.
It's actually quite entertaining. No, not goodbye. You goodbye. I don't have to goodbye. This, you didn't pay for shit yet. You don't even live here. So fuck you.
You're so lucky you have my child, and you're older. Otherwise, you're
Oh yeah? You fucking, are you scared me? Are you fucking scared me? You fucking scared me?
Kids all
I don't care. They don't
We're in a
understand
park.
English. You fucking scared me?
She's got to be careful out here. That bad boy's going to run out of juice any minute now. The battery life on those things isn't great, and she's going to get herself stranded here and need life alert. She's talking mighty big for someone in such a vulnerable position. One slash tire, and she's stuck there for the rest of her fucking life. She'll starve to death because she won't be able to waddle around and get any nutrients. Like, she's going to need AAA services if someone even sticks their foot out and causes, like, a small flat tire.
Chill out! Don't swear in front of my daughter!
I have my daughter in my house.
You know what? Don't fucking talk your language in front of me then, and I won't.
She's
I don't
speaking
even know
your
my language. Otherwise, fuck you.
Those fingers are rated E for everyone. She's been tossing these out left and right, giving them away like candy on Halloween to trick-or-treaters.
Why are you freaking out? You're in a public place right now. You know how embarrassing you are?
Exactly.
You're embarrassing yourself.
Are you fucking serious? Or seriously fuck?
Go. Look at everybody around you.
It doesn't matter what color you are, what race you are.
This lady looks and sounds like a cartoon character. Just look at her face right here. She looks like the sad Pepe Twitch emote.
How many colored people are around you right now?
Just go home.
Wow.
Look all around you.
What? What are you gonna do if I don't go home?
This is why
I don't have to go home. I am home, you dumb fuck.
It absolutely blows my mind how people like her feel so confident in their own safety that they'll just insult and threaten everyone around them and expect them to do nothing. She is not tough. I wouldn't exactly picture her when I think of the word strength and combat ability. Unless there's some hidden Gatling guns turrets strapped to that mobility scooter, I just don't see her winning a fight against anyone or anything. Like, even like a small squirrel would be enough to take her out. And yet she's so confident that she's inviting people to fight her. What are you going to do about it? Those are fighting words. And she's very lucky nobody lifted even a finger to challenge her.
That's not nice!
Everybody who knows you.
Get off of me, you fucking... Get off of me!
Get off
of me! You're not supposed to touch me!
Did I say nobody challenged her? I fucking lied to you. Whoops. Old Grandpappy had enough of sitting in the front row witnessing this nonsense, this tomfoolery. So he steps up to the plate and he's just gonna he was trying to push the accelerator to just like blast her out of there, which she thwarted the attempt of, but she made a crucial miscalculation that nearly cost her her life. She struck this man. This guy looks like he's been through 15 wars. It looks like Ric Flair out here. And he reacted instinctually. He brought up a fist. He threw up a set. You know, he brought up the grandpa fist, and then he stopped himself. He's like, oh my god, I can't do this. He stopped himself. He had self-control. But for a brief moment, I bet that put the fear of God in that lady. And then she resorted right back to being the cowardly pussy that all of these people are. She starts threatening to call the cops, even though she's the one that's been causing this whole disturbance, encouraging fighting and violence. And then the second somebody actually kind of challenges her, it's the police, you're going too far, oh my god, oh Jesus, good lord, Jiminy Cricket, get the fuck away, I'm calling the cops.
Don't make it rescue.
I do too.
I am go home, ma'am.
You are not.
Why are you causing
What
a
an
scene?
example you are.
Go home. This is a total embarrassment. They're causing a scene in front of all these young children for nothing. For nothing.
You do it to yourself. You do it to yourself.
Aw, she's so quirky with her little dance. I really respect everyone around her being able to keep their cool for the most part and keep a level head. I don't know how they do it. That level of self-control always shocks me. Because I feel like if you see this in public, you're just going to be throwing tomatoes at them. Like, that's like the natural human instinct. Like, it's a bad performance at a talent show. You just start throwing tomatoes, like, get the fuck out of here. You know, I don't know how people are able to just stand there calmly and let this kind of racist nonsense continue. She's a giant piece of shit. But yeah, anyway, I thought this was a little wild adventure here, and I wanted to share it. That's about it. So yeah. Another day, another whiny, entitled loser having a meltdown and freak out in a fast food drive-thru. This time, the temper tantrum is caused because he was declined a pup cup.
I'm gonna have to ask you to leave, please.
I'm doing a video.
I'm gonna need you to leave, sir.
Why was the reasoning why you won't give me a pup cup?
We're not allowed to do pup cups.
Yes, you are. I come here 2-3 times a week, every week, and get a pup cup.
As a dog owner myself, I am very familiar with this item. It's super simple. It's just a cup of whipped cream. It's not winning any Michelin stars, but it's just a nice little treat for your dogs if you're going to a couple of fast food places that offer it. I think the main one is Starbucks, but I didn't even know it was like super common outside of that. So it's not surprising that they're saying, no, you can't get a pup cup here. And also, 2 to 3 of those a week? That's excessive. At that point, just get your own can of whipped cream. Like, what the fuck?
Every time I come here.
They're not supposed to do pup cups. If they're doing it, they're not doing what they're supposed to be doing.
Do you not understand? It's just a little cup of whipped cream.
So I need you to leave, please.
Why won't you give me a pup cup?
Because we do not do pup cups at this establishment.
Bullshit. Came here yesterday and got a pup cup.
Somebody hand me the phone, please. Call the police.
She's calling the police because I want a pup cup?
She's calling the police because you're an annoying pest that refuses to leave, even though she's told you multiple times they don't do pup cups. Now, if you've received some of those sacred treasures here, that wonderful cuisine in the past, it means you got lucky, and the workers probably just didn't want to deal with you because you're a headache and decided to just oblige and give you those pup cups, but it's not something this establishment normally does, and she's telling you that. You're also making a problem for the workers that were nice enough to you to give you those pup cups by snitching on them here. Just accept the no, take the L, and move on. Go to a different place that offers it, or better yet, go to Publix or your local grocer, get a can of whipped cream, and then give your dog your own personal pup cup. She has done nothing wrong, she's not being mean, she told you no, which she has every right to do. And for some reason, you're making this a huge song and dance, and for some reason, so many people have these brain worms in society today, like these parasites that infest their mind that think that they're always in the right. So he starts filming this interaction himself. What should be a shameful moment for him that should keep him awake for weeks to come is something that he is proudly posting online himself. It's embarrassing. It's super fucking embarrassing. You're delusional. You're not in the right. No one's on your side. Just leave. They don't do pup cups. And stop saying that word. It really, it grinds my ass. It chafes my fucking butt how many times he says the word pup cup throughout this video. He spams that word more often than a Rocket League player spams what a save. It drove me nuts. It was so fucking grating.
Let's see what the police have to say because a person wants a pup cup? Seriously, you're calling the police because someone wants a pup cup. That's absolutely absurd. It's absolutely ridiculous. Cassopolis, Michigan.
I'm not entirely sure who shouted for being an idiot. My guess is it's one of the customers behind him, since he's clearly congesting the drive-thru here and putting it to an absolute halt, grinding it to a standstill. So I'm guessing they were getting mad and started shouting at him, just throwing tomatoes at this clown here. Just boo, boo, you stink, please stop, you're being an idiot. That's my guess. But it also could have been one of the workers from inside saying that, because he's now making everyone's day much more miserable there. He just doesn't seem to grasp that it has nothing to do with the pup cup, it has to do with his refusal to leave after being told no.
No. That's absolutely ridiculous. All you have to do is put some goddamn whipped cream in a and so that my dog can have a pup cup. And I was paying for it. I asked to pay for it.
So fucking what? They still said no. It doesn't matter how easy it is, they don't do that here. Your dog's not gonna die from lack of pup cup. It's not like that's the only sustenance keeping it alive. It's not just going to fucking explode if it doesn't get like the sugar from the whipped cream. It'll be fine. Go make your own pup cup at home and get the fuck out of the drive-thru and stop making everyone's day more miserable and worse by your presence. You absolute worm.
You McDonald's people need to start, like, come on now. It's a freaking pup cup. Arrogant McDonald's manager right there. Right there. Cassopolis, Michigan. I'm going to corporate with this. McDonald's doesn't support dogs, but you want me to round up to support the freaking kids every time I come here?
What the hell is even that? What are you saying? This man's gone loopy from how upset he is at getting told no. He's just not making any sense. It's just a bunch of mumbo-jumbo gobbledygook here. No, this isn't even a coherent rant anymore that he's yelling about. Just flapping his gums over nothing. What do you mean you're going to send this to corporate? What do you think they're going to do about it? What do you think their response is going to be? Excuse me, McDonald's CEO, Ronald, sir. Look at what just came across my desk. Take a peek here. It seems one of our restaurants in Cassopolis, Michigan did not serve a customer a pup cup despite being asked to. Shut it down. Get the Hamburglar on the line right now. We gotta take that establishment offline ASAP, track down the customer, and give him a lifetime supply of pup cups ASAP to make this right. Like, this isn't even something they offer. What is corporate gonna do, you fucking goofball?
It's a little bit of whipped cream in a cup, and I'm paying for it. It's a pup cup. Quit being so stubborn. Just give me a freaking pup cup. This could all be averted with a little bit of whipped cream in a cup for my dog.
Why don't you stop being so stubborn? This could all be averted if you weren't just such a whiny little baby man. Just take the no and leave. Scram! Get out of town. Oh my goodness.
This is why America's going to people like you. We don't do pup cups. I come here 2-3 times a week and get a pup cup. Tell me I can't get a pup cup.
Ah, yes. This is what's wrong with America. This is the reason why America's going to shit. They'll no longer serve a good red-blooded American patriot like this man a pup cup that he was trying to pay for. What happened to us? We used to be a proper country.
Wait till you lose your job when I send this to corporate. I'm waiting till the police get here.
Not much, man. It really didn't need to escalate like this, but
You're right, it definitely did not need to escalate like this. But you're a little bitch who couldn't just take no for an answer, so it did escalate like this. And what do you mean, wait till they lose their job? They've done nothing wrong. They've done absolutely nothing wrong whatsoever. No one's losing their job here.
And she's sitting there making a big deal saying, we don't do pup cups, you need to leave. I want you to leave. I'm like, hold on, I'm going to pull up my phone. I'm like, you guys are really refusing to give me a pup cup for 35 cents? That, you know, it shouldn't be escalating. She's like, I'm calling the cops if you don't leave. I said, go ahead and call the cops because I want to document this because they're calling the cops on a customer, a paying customer that comes here regularly.
You're not entitled to a goddamn pup cup, and also you're boring the officer to death by taking him on a trip to Yappersville because you won't shut the fuck up about this. You're not in the right here, and the officer is not on your side. And in fact, it ends with him getting trespassed and banned for this. Like, I don't know what outcome you could have possibly expected here.
We're just out here to keep the peace.
That's what I want.
You said you were screaming at him and yelling at him and videotaping and...
I wasn't screaming or yelling.
Arrogant McDonald's manager right there. Just give me a freaking pup cup.
He tries to claim he wasn't yelling at them, and then whoever uploaded this video, I found it through Reddit, I don't think this is the original upload, whoever uploaded this easily showcased multiple instances of him yelling. Plus, he filmed all of this himself. He can easily just be disproven with his own video that he has. It's ridiculous to try and claim that he wasn't yelling.
He's good with me. Okay, man, you're banned. Find another place. I don't know if
I won't come back here.
I appreciate that.
I don't want to.
Now he'll go terrorize another McDonald's by demanding a pup cup, and the cycle will continue. Just making a huge commotion because he refuses to take no for an answer and also refuses to just get his own can of whipped cream. You don't need to be getting pup cups 2 to 3 times a week for your dog. That's way too much, I would say. But anyway, just wanted to talk about this a little bit because, once again, another example of someone filming their own most embarrassing moment, and all the time it seems to happen at fast food establishments where people are delusional enough to think they're in the right despite throwing a temper tantrum over nothing. Just this entitlement plague that's sweeping the nation, I guess. That's really about it. So yeah. I'm sure all of you know I love a good public freakout, and there's no better stage for a freakout than Walmart. Some hero on Twitter today sent me this video that features a woman that must have just finished snorting bath salts in the Walmart bathroom and goes around preaching the good word of Jesus Christ in a way that I feel he would approve of.
Motherfucker.
Really?
I'm just trying to help you.
I'm sorry, but I don't need your help.
Yes, you do, motherfucker.
I really enjoy the way she says motherfucker. She sounds like a Canadian trying to be polite about it, but still wanting to get the motherfucker word out there.
You do need my help, sir. Can't you see that, you son of a bitch?
Could you please just let me check out my groceries?
Fuck you, I'm trying to help you, motherfucker.
It's like in SpongeBob when he gets to rock bottom. I can't understand your accent. Instead of the she's substituting that with the word motherfucker. So she's tossing that shit around a lot, which I think is great because she's got a very firm grasp on that word. I really like the way she articulates it. And she also freestyles her pronunciation of it towards the middle of this video as well, which is nice. So she plays around with it. But I'll go ahead and address the elephant in the asshole here. She's very clearly on drugs. You can tell by the lip smacking and constantly licking of her lips and then sticking her chin out like the Crimson Chin for some reason. She's acting like she's eating some invisible cotton candy. That lip smacking and all that, that's a sign of methamphetamines. I've seen it a couple times in the real world. And of course Live PD as well has made me an expert.
Wow, this is...
You gotta ask Jesus Christ.
I don't have to do anything.
We're all sinners.
Okay.
He's not gonna force you to do it.
You're sinning right now.
No, I'm not, motherfucker. You fucking accuser. Get the fuck out of here, you fucking accuser. You motherfucking accuser.
God, just look at that face right there. That's the face of a warrior. A god warrior. She's about to challenge his ass to a duel, and the loser's gonna be shopping at the Walmart in the Shadow Realm. Now, I'll be honest, I haven't read the Bible in a long time, so I don't know if doing meth in a Walmart bathroom is technically a sin. I don't think meth was invented back in Jesus' time, so it's not expressly in the Ten Commandments nor the Bible, I would wager a guess. So, taking that into consideration, I could see why she would think our protagonist with the camera here was being a bit accusatory. And I'm really glad that he's pointing some fucking fingers, because that sends her into an ultra mega meltdown.
Get the fuck out of here! Wow. You motherfucking accuser! Accuser of the fucking brethren, you motherfucker!
Excuse me.
Yes, ma'am.
Can I ask you what's going on?
Did you see that shift from 100 to 0 like that? She turns that switch off, going from screaming and shouting and queefing about the brethren and calling this man an accuser, talking about wizards at Hogwarts or some shit, to, yes ma'am, did you need something? What's the problem?
I'm pissed because he won't repent.
I just want to get some groceries and go home.
Because his religious views don't match yours, you're mad at him.
I don't give a fuck because it's gonna burn in hell.
Okay. Then why
And you are too, bitch. If you don't have Jesus Christ as your savior, you're gonna be down there fucking with them.
Yeah, that truce was short-lived. A little temporary respectfulness, and then she's going right back to talking about him going to hell, and then calls this woman a bitch who's going to hell because she doesn't have Jesus in her heart. But she doesn't know that. Maybe Jesus is in that woman's heart. She didn't take a moment to properly digest the situation and deduce whether or not Jesus was there or not. Far be it for me to make this accusation. I don't want to be labeled an accuser, but I just don't think this woman is a real ambassador for Jesus Christ. I just don't think she's doing the job properly. I don't think she knows what she's doing. She might not be qualified. There, I said it.
Screaming in holy fucking terror of fucking fire and brimstone. Do you fucking get it?
Yeah, totally understand. But I can't have you yelling and spewing profanities at other people that are in the store.
Well, fuck you then.
I mean...
Answer my fucking question. Fuck you, don't call me ma'am. Who the fuck told you what my title is, motherfucker?
It's around this point that she starts to transform the motherfuckers, going from a very strict motherfucker to a much more relaxed and casual motherfucker.
Shut the fuck up.
Okay, can you hold this? All right.
Motherfucker!
You can't leave.
That's why I'm doing this, sir.
Ma'am,
this is my job.
I'm not sensing God.
She tosses around the word motherfucker more than Samuel L. Jackson, but I'm a little confused here because she says that what she's doing is her job. I'm curious to know who's paying her to go to Walmart's to start saying, motherfucker, you're gonna burn in hell if you don't repent. I just don't think that kind of job really exists. Plus, what are they supposed to do in the middle of Walmart? Just break down into tears, rip off their clothes, and piss on the floor or something to prove that they're repenting? Like, what? How, in her mind, how is this supposed to go? You're begging them to repent and saying they're going to burn in hell if they don't, but what are they supposed to do? You didn't give them a tutorial. You didn't teach them the proper ways of doing it. You know, you're just not very good at this job. If it is such a thing. I mean, I tell you, you snort 1 pound of meth in a Walmart bathroom and all of a sudden you think you're an expert on all things Jesus Christ related.
You're in my personal space, bitch!
You're in my personal space.
Get out of my fucking personal space! You came over to me, motherfucker! I didn't come over to you!
Move yourself from the
Fuck you!
Ma'am.
Shut the fuck up! You all better repent! Because the kingdom of heaven is at hand!
Now she's sounding like Rita from Power Rangers right before supersizing the villain. To be fair, I think she's got a great voice if she wanted to get into like some death metal screaming and such. I think she could have a career there, but I just don't think this position she's working with is going to pan out too well for her.
Fuck you! I never brushed my fucking teeth! Don't you fucking know that? Don't you know that by now?
Aha, the truth comes out. I knew it from the get-go. I said this sounds like a woman that doesn't brush her teeth, and she admitted to it right in front of all of Walmart and God. But I don't know why she doesn't brush her teeth. I don't see what the fuck the point of that is. It's not like it's unholy or against the Bible to brush your teeth. You know, you can still have Jesus Christ in your heart and have some clean teeth, some good dental hygiene.
Get the fuck out of here, I told you! I don't give a shit! They're gonna fucking... I don't give a shit! You can lock me up in a fucking prison, life without fucking parole, and I'll be better off than any one of you motherfuckers!
Amen, sister. That was the most powerful fucking thing I've ever seen in a Walmart. Sounded like Chris Farley from that SNL skit, living in a van down by the river. Just honestly such a heartwarming and moving speech she delivered, all while shaking around and moving like she just got hit by a taser.
Shut the fuck up! Fuck you, sir! Shut the fuck! Are you that fucking dumb? These people are going to hell. Stand up.
And the crowd goes fucking wild. That's where this story ends, but man oh man, what a bold and effective crusade it was for this woman, I would say. Just one of those classic Walmart freakouts you love to see. That's about it. See ya. Fasten your seatbelts, it's time for a good old-fashioned, red-blooded American patriotic public freakout. This one takes place on a golf course.
We got a Karen on the golf course right now.
You'll leave after I don't give you a goddamn thing.
I'm gonna take your clubs.
Take it.
He seems like a character from Mad Men. Like, he is smoldering right now. That is mean mugging. And then he holds up the golf ball like he's about to do a magic trick with it to make it disappear. So, from what I understand here about this situation is, this group was golfing, and this gentleman, which I can't say that word because he is not a gentleman at all. He's not conducting himself in an appropriate manner for the golf course, which is a holy sanctuary of good manners and some light day drinking. He has picked up their ball and refuses to give it back. I don't really know why. Maybe he's out of balls and he resorted to just scavenging for one, maybe. But he has their ball. They're confronting him saying like, hey, give that back. And he's saying, nope. There's just already so much information here to digest and marinate on. Now, one of the members of this party that had their golf ball stolen by the gluttonous golfer threatens to take his golf clubs in return, which I imagine they were just saying out of, jest and making fun of him. But you have to be cautious because clearly this man is resorting to caveman brain. He's going primal right now. He's not processing information rationally. So he might take that as a declaration of war, like a legitimate threat. If you're talking about taking someone's golf clubs, you're basically threatening to take their firstborn child to some of these golfers out here. So you just gotta be wary of the headspace the guy's in right now.
Then leave.
I'm not getting a fight at a golf course.
Then leave. I'm gonna stand here and you can complain. Goodbye.
I'm not complaining. You're the one bitching.
No, you're the one that approached me and I asked you to no longer speak.
You took her ball!
Please don't speak to me.
We're coming over.
I'll be honest here, I can't help but appreciate his power stance. The way that he holds himself is actually pretty impressive. It's a legitimate NPC stance. He's got this spiritual pressure that I can taste through the video. So he's drawing a line in the sand. He's saying, I'm not fucking leaving. You know, you can sit here and complain, but I've got your ball and I'm not giving it back. So the Grinch has come out here and stolen Christmas, and he did it all while wearing Steve from Blue's Clues shirt. I love that he's got the green striped shirt on, because since I grew up with Blue's Clues, I see a shirt like that and I immediately associate it with like a really nice person, and this guy is wiping his ass with that whole fucking idea. Because this guy is not nice at all. In fact, you know what? I'll say he's a bit of a jerk. Pardon my French.
You took her ball! Bro, you took her ball! If you need money for her golf balls...
Walter, because I'll plant you, bitch boy. Now get the fuck off the cart.
Walter?
Walter?
Oh, here we go.
You see that?
Oh.
That's what you spend to heaven, bitch, and you want to test God? You fucking come get it, shit stack.
I'm a little disappointed he didn't rip the shirt off Hulk Hogan style. The fact that he, like, quickly takes it off like it's about to get sensual took away from the impact of the peak male physique reveal. Now shit's starting to pop off. It's about to look like 6th Street in Austin, Texas after the bars closed down. That's a really specific reference, but I think a lot of you understand what I'm talking about. There's this street in Texas with a ton of bars, and every single time the bars close, all the fights just start breaking out outside on that street all the time. Most of the street fights you see on the internet actually come from that area. That's like the genesis of fighting. Like, that's where fighting was invented, really. But anyway, let's dial back the clock a little bit. He said something very interesting that caught everyone off guard when he said Walter, and that he would plant him bitch boy. So all at once, the crowd says, Walter? 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 Like, no one knows where that came from. So I believe what happened here is, for a brief moment, this dude traveled to a different dimension, and he was fighting a ghost named Walter. No one seems to know where that came from, but that was finally the last straw there, when he takes his shirt off. Walter was there, and he was ready to fuck him up.
Oh.
You think I'm mentally ill?
I know you're
Then to heaven. Leave me alone.
So that's the second time he mentioned heaven. So the first time when the shirt comes off, he makes this statement about, you know, this is the body that went to heaven, so if you want to challenge God, then come get it, shit stack. I don't exactly know what a shit stack is. I guess if I was to put the context clues together and use the very obvious, it would be like a piece of poop on a piece of poop on a piece of poop, like a whole fucking tower of it. But who does that? I've never seen a shit stack per se. But what's the most interesting part here is that he keeps mentioning heaven. And I don't exactly know what that's about, but it is pretty intimidating. That gives some psychopath energy. It reminds me of Hey Arnold with the don't hit me, I'll hit me. Like, the whole thing being act as crazy as possible to stop a fight from happening. Maybe that was the tactic here, so that way he could have them leave on their own accord and he gets to keep their ball. He gets the treasure. Like, you know, maybe it's possible. But, yeah, either way, I just found this to be really interesting, because it goes 0 to 100 so quick, because for some reason he inexplicably takes their ball and refuses to give it back. And it turned into this big song and dance. It just feels like so many people are on edge all the time, and are willing to die for things that are super small. It just, I don't know, it's just a wild phenomenon that I'm noticing being very common these days. Also, there's another thing I want to point out. When he takes his shirt off initially, he looks down at himself a couple times, and then when he looks up, he looks almost surprised, as if he didn't know what to expect when his shirt came off there. Maybe, like, it wasn't the same view that he has of his body when he looks at himself in the mirror, so it caught him off guard. I don't really know. But yeah, I just wanted to share this, because it's been a little while since we went over just a good old-fashioned public freakout. That's about it. So yeah. A delusional psychopath tried swatting someone. What happens next will shock you. Dusting off the old Darman reference here for this one. So some miserable, horrible lady tried to swat someone. I'm sure I don't need to explain what swatting is. It's a horrible, bad thing that'll land you permanently on Santa Claus's naughty list. And this lady looks and sounds like she's one glass of wine away from passing out face first into her copy of 50 Shades of Grey, but in between bouts of consciousness, she decided to commit a huge crime of swatting. And boy howdy, the shoe went on the other foot real quick. They actually found her, and when they brought her into custody, she started launching sonic-based attacks at the officers. It's a wild ride that I can't wait to take you on, thanks to Code Blue Cam here providing all of the footage. We get a POV of what it's like to encounter a real-world banshee. But before we even see her, let's go ahead and get brought up to speed with the lore. The call, the emergency that she phoned in.
Hi, there's a man with a gun, shooting with a gun. Can you spell the street, ma'am? I can't understand you. Do you have me on speakerphone? He's shooting with a gun. I understand that, and I'm going to send help, but I need to understand the street name. Okay, and who is shooting with a gun? There's a man. Okay, what is the man's name? I have no idea. Okay, how do you know this is going on? Oh my God, he's out there with a gun shooting rabbits. Okay, how do you know this is going on? Oh my God, because I can see him. He's shooting rabbits. He's shooting everywhere. Answer my questions. How do you know this is going on?
No doubt she's a classically trained actress. That is a very convincing performance. Those acting chops could bring a tear to the eyes of even Margot Robbie. And she is using it for evil, nefarious purposes. So she's talking about a man who's shooting. He's shooting rabbits. He's shooting everywhere. And refuses to give any, like, real info. And then, like, pauses after the operator's asking her how she even knows this is going on. She doesn't answer and then just hangs up.
Based on the nature of the call, all on-duty Brookfield police officers responded to the area immediately.
Bravo 521, I'm 23. There's nothing going on here. This is most likely a swatting call.
Dispatch later informed that the female caller had reached out again, stating she could see the man on her cameras and that he was still firing his weapon.
They sent out the whole kit and caboodle like they were about to bring down Cobra Commander. They got there, found nothing, but then the mysterious caller reaches out again, saying the same thing, that this maniac is out there firing his weapon. There's a maniac on the loose and we gotta get him. Only the officers were there. There was no gunshots. They even searched the area for casings, found nothing. They asked the homeowner nearby, nothing. So they were pretty confident it was a swatting call.
While clearing the scene, the female continued to call 911 repeatedly from an unknown number. A sergeant instructed the clerks to forward all her calls to his desk phone.
She called them again and again and again, repeatedly just spitting this fraudulent fairy tale, this gobbledygook horseradish. I don't know what she was even fucking thinking at this point. She's like the Riddler, but 50 times as stupid. She's the shittler. So she's over there just spewing this shit. They are at the scene, so they know it's not real, and they just start forwarding those calls to Ace Detective Phoenix Wright's personal desk phone, and he happens to recognize her voice from previous interactions. Let that sink in for a moment. Marinate on that thought. A police officer interacts with so many people, and most of those interactions, I imagine, aren't overly positive. Do you know how annoying you have to be to have an officer remember your voice? That you were such a fucking nuisance that your voice left an imprint in their brain that even just audibly hearing you can activate a Winter Soldier moment for them where they remember your name and everything. All because you stained them with how annoying you were.
When she called again, he recognized her voice from previous interactions. A quick in-house database check soon revealed her identity as 36-year-old Ashley Corbin.
Is that consistent with what you say you're observing?
Yeah.
Okay, we have gone to the area where you have claimed this has been happening 3 times tonight.
Yeah.
Yep, you've seen us there?
Yeah.
So he got asshole Ashley on the horn here in order to corroborate these reports, saying that you've called 10 times now all about this, we've been out there and have seen nothing, and she's just like a broken record saying, yeah, yep, yes. She is a malfunctioning NPC. All she can say is, yeah. And he's just pressing her like, hey, we didn't see anything, you know, what's going on? She eventually says that the guy shooting is on camera, so the officer says, well, we'd love to see that footage. Shocker, she's got no footage to show.
I would love to see the video footage if that's something that you could provide for us, because we have been unable to locate him. And I sent an officer to look at that with you.
No, we want him to be stopped.
What's going to happen moving forward, we're going to be conducting an investigation for swatting. Are you familiar with that term?
I hope so. I hope that you guys are going to take his property into custody and investigate his whole property. I pray to God.
Well,
her body is screaming for water, but the only thing it's getting is more and more wine. She is plastered. You can clearly hear it. She is not able to process at all what's happening here. He's even telling her to her face that they are investigating her for swatting, and she's like, oh, thank heavens. Goodness gracious, it's about time you guys do your job. He's an absolute menace out there. He's shooting, and you need to go investigate his property. You need to take his property. I pray to God you go take his property. This and that. She doesn't realize what is happening here at all. Like, swatting is a very serious thing. Again, I'm sure you're all familiar with it, but people die from swatting. So it's something that's taken super seriously here. And she is not able to wrangle that fact at all.
Well, we're worried about our kids.
Yep, you've said that a couple times, ma'am. If you were so worried about your kids, I think you'd be willing to talk to an officer about it.
Are you kidding me? Do you really want to
So-
want to go there?
We're going to pull the phone records from the phone company. We'll write the subpoena. Have you had any drinks tonight, ma'am?
Are you crazy?
No, ma'am. I'm trying to conduct this investigation for you.
Are you a crazy person?
Nope.
He's been shooting rabbits and doing all kinds of stuff.
He started to sniff out that she might be intoxicated, but Ashley's putting on a strong show of sobriety to throw him off the trail. Drunk? Me? No. You crazy? You a crazy person? Is that what's going on here?
So, we're going to end this. He's going to pay us $1,500.
Oh, that's good for you.
Yeah, sure is.
Her neurons started to desperately fire as the realization must have started to sink in that they're not buying her story, so she starts to panic a little bit and tries to write a conclusion to the fanfic about how they just shook hands with $1,500 and everything's hunky-dory now, no need to send any pesky officers out there to check anything out because it's all squared away now, huh? Job well done.
Ashley Corbin, I remember her.
That's who I think it is. I think it's Ashley. Hello?
Holy.
Is this Ashley?
Yeah, no, this is not Ashley.
Okay. This is Sergeant Griebling with the Brookfield Police Department. You called us?
Who is Ashley?
I thought this was Ashley.
Why would you think that?
The tables turn, the officers are pretty sure it's Ashley, so they call her this time to try and confirm those suspicions. And I think it's pretty obvious from the second she answers the phone, they got her. But she's trying to play it cool. Ashley? No, this is not Ashley. What makes you think it's Ashley? My name is Bourne. I'm actually surprised she answered this call with her normal inebriated voice instead of trying to fool them, throw a monkey wrench into their hypothesis by answering the phone with an accent or something. Top of the morning to ya! You know, something like that, and they'd be like, oh, well, clearly it can't be Ashley. This caller wasn't Irish, so we got the wrong person.
Guess what? My name's Lindsay. You can stop calling me Ashley. Thank you.
Okay. You should probably slow down on the drinking tonight, ma'am.
You should probably fucking stop being a fucking bitch.
Okay.
How about that?
The call starts to devolve into her treating this call like it's an Xbox Live lobby, so she just keeps calling him a bitch. It really gets very interesting. It's like a League of Legends chat at this point.
It was also revealed that Ashley had an active felony warrant and had repeatedly called another police agency earlier that day using vulgar and profane language.
Sorry. Oh. Whoa. Breathe. Come on. Get straight. Chris. Get straight. Chris. No.
Come on. Let's go, bud.
Come on.
We get some more lore on Ashley, and the deeper it gets, the more confused I become at how someone can end up like Ashley. She was apparently calling another police agency that day as well to spew some mumbo-jumbo, and then they eventually find her outside with her dog, and then she's yanking on the dog's leash, which eventually pops the leash off of the dog, and then she has to go on the side quest to get the dog back to get it inside. It's quite a journey.
I want my attorney present.
Okay, sure.
Thank you. So I'm not going to talk to anybody without my attorney present.
Very well. I will pass on the Brookfield, and we'll see what they say.
After a lengthy mission, they do finally get the dog, and the way she's holding him, she's holding it like it's a bioweapon. I've never seen someone hold a dog like that in my fucking life. She's got the dog's wiener pointed at the officers. I think she was hoping that he'd start peeing or something as a distraction so she could make a run for it. I don't know. But she's like holding the dog almost like it's the fucking Heisman Trophy or something. Like, I don't get what she's doing, like, with that dog. I feel terrible for the dog. Honestly, the best thing that could have happened is the dog gets off the leash and finds a new owner. Because she seems remarkably fucking lost and beyond off her gourd.
So, no, I'm not doing a swatting thing with a Brookfield. Are you kidding me?
I wouldn't joke about that.
That is a serious joke. Ken is a psycho.
I don't even know who Ken is.
The guy?
We honestly don't know much of what's going on.
We were told here to come pick you up, that you have a warrant, and Brookfield wants to talk, has criminal
I date a Brookfield officer, okay?
Who?
My man is an officer, okay? I'm not gonna say because I don't want to.
You just said Singleton.
It's pretty clear that this woman is a pathological liar, and it only gets worse. She throws out some really heinous accusations in a bit. So right now, she's talking about how she wasn't behind the swatting. That's a very serious joke. That's not a knee slapper or a gut buster that you make gags out of. She would never do such a thing like that. And then she's talking about how she actually dates an officer. Won't name his name, but she dates an officer, and he probably wouldn't like what's happening here. He probably wouldn't like it. So her whole idea here, I think, was to try and, like, I don't know, say, like, hey, I date an officer, so I shouldn't be arrested, you know? I think that was the plan. It doesn't work, but I think that's what she was going for.
You need to go.
No, you're good. Well, we got plans.
Can you please come out?
Hey, be respectful.
No, you can take it.
I was trying to go to the basement. I didn't know I was going to serve.
It's actually incredible how unlikable this woman is. A just normal person coming out of the elevator doing normal activities, and she yells at them to get out. Like, what the fuck? How can someone possibly be this much of an insufferable piece of shit? It's actually impressive.
That was kind of rude.
I am rude. I'm sorry.
That lady did nothing to you.
I'm a surgeon.
What?
I'm a surgeon. I am. So I'm very particular. So
What does that have to do with yelling at a lady?
I'm sorry.
Now she's saying that she's a surgeon. She just randomly blurts out that she's a surgeon. It's like a child when they're like making up a story when playing pretend, like SpongeBob and SquarePants in that box of imagination. That's her whole brain. I'm spitting. I'm actually spitting. That's how disgusted this woman makes me. She can't stop lying for even a second, and she can't stop being a piece of shit to people around her. And like the officer's even telling her, like, that was rude. Like, this was just a person using this elevator, and now you're yelling at them. And she's like, I'm a surgeon! I'm a surgeon! I'm a surgeon! I like things to be particular. And they're like, what? What? What does that have to do with anything?
I do stuff like very particular. Like I do brain surgery.
Okay, let's take a left.
So it's very particular.
So does that mean you can be an asshole to people?
I don't deal with people. So it's like I deal with digging in people's brains and digging in. I'm sorry. That's what I do. You dig in, you go in deep 5, and that's it.
Brain surgeon.
I like how she almost tried to drop some kind of scientific terms like, well, brain surgery, you see, it's actually very complicated, and it's why I'm a little particular about things. I don't deal with people, I'm dealing with brains. You know, you have to go D5. D5. You know, knight to D5. You know, you saw it in Harry Potter when they're playing wizard's chess. Like, you guys wouldn't get it. I won't bore you with the jargon that you couldn't possibly understand with your tiny, feeble minds. Just know that because I'm a brain surgeon, it gives me the right to yell at people. And it gives me the right to call police departments 20 times a night reporting false crimes because, well, it's what I like to do as a brain surgeon.
You're lying, and you use me as a scapegoat under the bridge. You guys were harassing me under the bridge, and there was no cameras under there, and you guys were harassing me and me under the bridge.
She also left like a big bag of beer in front of someone's door and...
What's up?
You guys me in the elevator.
Okay.
Yep.
We have body cameras.
And I have marks.
We have body cameras, and if you want to,
and so do I.
If you want to file a false police report, we can go down that road.
You're lying.
Her next series of lies isn't nearly as humorous as her brain surgeon storyline, where, you know, she received a lobotomy, thus she thinks she's a brain surgeon now or whatever. This one, she starts to try and spin a false rape accusation about how they were raping her on the elevator and under a bridge.
And what they did to me, how they raped me.
Nobody's gonna. We're just having to exit the car.
Yep, and how they raped me.
Anyway, let's go.
Yep, how he raped me and how this guy raped me. And this guy raped me. What is your name? Stop! I'm talking too loud, you raped me! I'm talking too loud, you raped me!
Ashley.
You raped me! He raped me! He raped me! He did! This guy!
She now embarks on the Screaming Gambit. This is a pretty advanced maneuver you don't see executed super often, never to any degree of success, where the person just then starts screeching and squealing. And it's what she does for the rest of the video. So she's still screaming that they raped her when there is body cam footage to prove that did not happen. That is a blatant lie. All she does is endlessly lie. It's craziness. And that is a awful thing to be lying about. And she's screaming it, and I think the idea was to try and like incite anger, to have like maybe people come in and like, I don't know, push over the officers to save her or something. I don't know what she's even trying to do with that accusation when there's clearly evidence that proves contrary. I think it's to try and like get out of the arrest. I don't really know, but it is unhinged lunacy.
Ashley, turn back around. Ashley, get back on the bench. Ashley, you need to sit on the bench right now.
When she eventually does get to the station, she lets out her best Joker laugh that she can muster. And to her credit, it's a pretty maniacal, cartoonishly evil laugh that she pulled off. It's pretty impressive.
Stand up.
Ow! Now you broke my arm.
Sit.
Now you broke my arm.
Ashley, you need to sit down.
You broke my arm. Ow!
You got your keys. Ashley, you need to sit up.
Lord have mercy on all the poor souls that were watching this with headphones on. They're no longer with us. So she's now claiming they broke her arm when they went over to try and get her to sit up. They didn't actually even lift her, by the way. The second they like touched her, then she started saying that they broke her arm. Another bogus baloney fib here. Liar, liar, plants for hire. Holy cannoli. And now she is absolutely wailing. She is sounding like a Five Nights at Freddy's jump scare. She sounds like if Toucan Sam ate a ghost pepper.
No! No, you broke my arm! You broke my arm! You did! You broke my arm!
I did not break your
You
arm.
broke my arm! Ah! Ah! Why are you hurting me?
If you sit forward, I won't
Don't
touch you.
touch
Okay.
me!
Do you have an NCIC for swatting?
Oh God. Fucking swatting. You guys are so fucking stupid. Swatting. Ow!
Ashley, you need to sit up.
She goes on and on and on and on and on. It sounds like the screaming goat meme. So that's kind of where that concludes, but she did receive some charges for it, but really got let off super easy. She, I think, only spent like 6 months in jail for blatant swatting, and she should be counting her lucky stars that they didn't try and pursue some kind of false rape accusation charges as well. I don't know if that's something they even could do, but I'm surprised they didn't try. Like, this really could have been a lot worse for Ashley. Swatting is something that is extremely serious. So she got let off very easily. And man, what a fucking nuisance she is. Holy. That's really about it. So yeah.